Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Vlogmas video. Today we are going to be chatting about popular series that I actually have on my physical TBR that I have not started yet and really hope to, hopefully next year. But I want to make some progress on the ones I'm currently in the middle of first. We will be talking about reading goals for next year in another video, but I'm kind of thinking like maybe I want to finish off two series that I already have on my shelves that I've started before starting a new one, something like that. I'm not sure, I haven't fleshed that out yet, but I was having a look at my shelves and I saw a ton of series that I'm really excited to get to on there that I haven't yet for one reason or another. And a major reason is being in the middle of over 35 series already, not all of which I own. A lot of them I'm getting from the library, but these ones are really popular on BookTube and I really would like to get in on the hype, know what everyone's talking about, and read them for myself, especially because I own them already. Before hopping too far into it, if you're new here, hello, my name is Emily. This is MacInnis Mama, where you will find mostly bookish content. If that is something that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe before you leave. Let's hop into this video. Okay, I have 10 series here plus one honorable mention, I believe. So I'm going to start with the honorable mention, which is kind of like in the 11th spot, but I'm not actually ranking these. They're kind of in more of a genre order, but the honorable mention is The Wheel of Time. The only book I own is The Great Hunt, which is actually the second book. I picked it up for $1 because I love these covers, though I wish I got hardbacks, but when you see it for $1, you just pick it up. The Wheel of Time is a classic fantasy series, very big. My mom and my brother own them and are currently on like 7 or 8, I believe, in the slog. And I'm so intimidated by this series. I would like to read this someday, but I really don't think 2023 is going to be when I pick this up either because it's so long, dense. I'm scared of this series. I do have a middle grade series that I would love to get in on the hype, especially since the second book is a new release, and that is Amari and the Night Brothers. My oldest son, Max, is 11, and he actually got this for either his birthday or Christmas, and he isn't as much of a reader as I would hope he would be. But I was like, Max, can we store that on my bookshelf here, which is just in the living room, so he has full access to it? Because that's actually a book that I would like to read someday too, but you should read it first, then I'll read it, and then we can talk about it together. And he still hasn't picked it up. But I am really interested in this middle grade fantasy series where we're following our main character, Amari, and her brother goes missing. It is an urban fantasy, I believe, or like more of a portal fantasy. She falls into this magical school setting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is going to be such a fun time, and the second book just released. A YA fantasy series that I really want to hop into ASAP is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I have read the first 5 books of the Mortal Instrument series a very, very long time ago. Then I reread the first 3, and now I'm supposed to hop into the Infernal Devices in order to follow the proper reading order, which I wasn't aware of way back in the day before I discovered BookTube, etc. So this is the next book I need to read. I also need to pick up Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess because I do not own those ones. I think I will actually really enjoy this and love it way more than I loved the Mortal Instruments. Do I need to explain what this is about? Demon hunting, shadow hunters, historical. This one is set in Victorian England, which I think I'm going to like more than like modern day New York-ish. Another YA fantasy, this is more YA fantasy romance, and the book I have in my hand is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, but I actually want to read the series that starts with A Kiss of Deception. I forget what the series is called, but that series happens before this series, and apparently there is some crossover, so it is best to read them that way, like A Kiss of Deception those 3 books and then hop into this one, and I really want to read that. I've heard rave reviews about that series. A lot of people really love it, and this is like a spin-off duology. A more adult fantasy romance series, or paranormal, I guess, I feel like is really popular, not so much talked about nowadays, especially on BookTube, at least from people that I'm watching, but that is the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward. I have the first 9 or 8 to 10 books. I'm not sure how many I have, but I've been picking them up once again for $1 at my charity bookshop. And I'm so happy to have found like a lot of them in chronological order. I don't just have random pieces of the series. And this is a vampire romance series, but other than that, I don't know too much about it. I think it's like pretty spicy, especially based on the covers. I love how like old school these covers are. I just think I'm really going to love this series, and I have a lot of the books, so I should hop into it. The only actual romance book that I have on this list, because I am just stepping into my romance era, dark romance, spicy romance, and I'm reading a lot of them on Kindle Unlimited. In 2023, I do hope to buy not just thrillers and fantasies, but also romance books too. So if I do an update on this video, this will probably change, but the only romance series that I own, or the first book, is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I am stuttering because I'm trying to rush, and that is not a good idea when filming. I call this romance with quotation marks because this is very angsty, toxic, messy. How did they describe this? This has been all over BookTube. It was like Gossip Girl set in the UK, meets The Addicted series, meets Euphoria. I'm not sure. But everyone has been raving about this series. But I have seen 1 and 2 star reviews from people I love, and then from more people I love, I've seen 5-star reviews. So I have no idea where I'll fall, and that's why I only purchased the first one, because these are indie published and they're a little bit more on the expensive side. But I am really eager to get to this, and I think this might be my top priority out of this list. I don't know. You'll have to let me know which series you think I should prioritize. Now I have a stack of adult fantasy. Well, let's talk about this one next, because I don't know. I would call this fantasy romance, but a lot of people call this a historical romance. Not so much fantasy series, but there's like time travel, right? So in my mind, that is like fantasy. But anyways, maybe you can consider these 2 romance series. The 2 romance series on my list. But this is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I did get this from a library. They were done with this copy. It was free, so I just grabbed it. It's still in really great condition. Maybe they traded them for the hardbacks or something. I do not know, but I only have this one. And this is a very big historical romance / historical fantasy romance, I don't know, series, and I would love to read the books before watching the show, and I really want to watch the show. My stepmom has all of these books. It's her favorite series, and I have this one. It's been sitting on my shelf for so long, and I would really like to get to it, mostly because I want to watch the TV show. But I've heard that these are pretty hard to get into. I'm less intimidated by this series than The Wheel of Time, though. Now let's hop into the adult fantasy. These are some intimidating, chunky series. The first I have is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I think I'm absolutely going to love this book. However, will the 3rd book ever come out? It has been years upon years. Patrick Rothfuss is giving George R.R. Martin a run for his money on whether these authors are actually going to finish their fantasy series. That's why I prefer to read series that are already completed in an ideal world. In this, you're following Kvothe, who is recounting his time at a magical university. They say this is like a darker, more adult version of Harry Potter. That is very intriguing to me, and there's only 2 out of 3 books out. But I do own The Name of the Wind, so I should read it. The next two are books that my mom lent me because she loved these series and she wants me to read them, but I take 100 years to get to anything. I just shared a meme on Instagram actually, which my Instagram is linked down below. It's mostly beauty focused because that's what my main channel is, but I share a lot of bookish stuff. Sorry, my hair is bothering me in my stories. I shared a meme anyways of like when a book lover says, oh yeah, I'll read that soon, I'll add it to my TBR, they mean 5 to 500 business days. Yes. Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. This is Assassin Nuns, grimdark. I think this would be a really great series to read in the winter time. For some reason, I'm getting like snowy, cold winter vibes from here. I don't even know where that's actually coming from. I think this is going to be similar-ish to like Nevernight by Jay Kristoff, but more of like a grimdark vibe than like a new adult vibe. I don't know. I do know a lot of people love that. I mean, the whole point of this video is they're popular, so a lot of people love all of these books from what I've gathered. This is like a fantasy sci-fi mix. Again, adult. The 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I don't know if you can see, not really. Right here I have the whole trilogy, and this is quite intimidating for me as well. I know a lot of people really, really love this series, or they really struggle with the writing style. They felt lost and dumb and floundering through the whole thing. And I'm kind of feeling like I might be in that camp of like, I don't know what's going on. This book is making me feel so stupid. What the heck, you know, like, and I don't really want to feel that way while trying to enjoy a book. But in this, I mean, the tagline on the back of this book is, "This is the way the world ends for the last time." I feel like there's like these big natural disaster or like seasons that the earth is going through, and like the population is dwindling. Is this kind of dystopian-ish? I'm not sure, but I don't know where I'm going to fall. Am I going to be too stupid for this series, or am I absolutely going to love it? I'll only know if I read it. I saved the most intimidating, except for the Wheel of Time, but one that I think I will actually read in a reasonable-ish time frame for last. The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I still need to finish Mistborn. I have read Elantris. I have loved every Brandon Sanderson book I have read so far, but the Stormlight Archives is so intimidating, mostly because it's ongoing. It's going to be a 10-book series. I know the Cosmere references are very intertwined in here, so again, am I going to be too dumb for it? But also, I think this book weighs like 20 pounds. That is an exaggeration, but I love this UK hardcover edition. I would love to get all of the series in UK hardcover, but like this is so heavy. I can't imagine, my wrists will break if I'm trying to like hold this and read it. Not only is it over 1,000 pages, but the font is very small in here. Oh, but there's pictures. I can get down with some pictures. I don't actually truly know what the Stormlight Archive is about. Couldn't tell you. Very epic in scope, adult, high fantasy, right? The Stormlight Archive is epic in every sense. What more can I say? So those are the 10 very popular series that I own that I would like to get to soon. Why haven't I read them yet? I don't think, except for Magnolia Parks, I don't think any of these are like technically new on my shelves. Let me know in the comments down below, which should I prioritize reading? Maybe it's the short trilogies. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and hop into one of these really intimidating ones to kind of like gain confidence that I can do it. I don't know. Let's chat in the comments down below. Let me know also a popular series that you haven't read yet. I feel like I could also do this for Kindle Unlimited or romance series, but I don't own those physically, so that's why I didn't include them in popular series I haven't read yet. These are just ones that I own. I'm over explaining things. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!